Hi guys, Sim here from Sparkly Fairy Face Painting. I want to show just a very basic full face butterfly where you don't use sponges, mostly because since COVID I've just transitioned onto just using brushes. It's just easier to wash a brush than go through a million billion sponges, but you can do this with a sponge as well if you want to for the first little bit. So this is just a very basic beginner's sort of thing, which you can later embellish and improve upon. There's a million fantastic videos out there. So the two brushes I'm going to be using is a fairly large filbert. You can use a 12 or a 10. And then I've got a flat brush. I think this one is a 10. You can use a 12. I see a lot of people using the angled brushes. I just don't have any big angled brushes. I'm not very experienced with them, so I'm just going to use what I normally use. I actually quite often use a 12 for this, or even sometimes a 1-inch, but anyway. So using clean water to wet my brush and then a bit of a spritz on my paint. I'm going to use a pale lilac just because I think it's very forgiving on kids' eyes. If you're a beginner, the pale lilac and the pale, I think it's a blush, is so forgiving. You can make a real mess with it and it barely shows up. Now, I usually wear glasses, so everything's a blur to me, so forgive me if this looks atrocious, but you'll get the idea. So I just use this filbert because it fits in the eyelid really easily. It's sort of the shape of the eyelid, and then I sweep it up a bit over the eyebrow and just out a bit to get a bit of coverage. That's that done. So then using your flat brush, whichever one you want to use, a bigger type, clean water to wet your brush, and then a bit of a spritz on that. I do a bit of a wet my brush, then wipe it on the towel. So you'll want to experiment with what colours you like to use, but rainbow, I say, is not great because it goes brown and muddy when you wiggle it, and you'll know what I mean by wiggling it when you see this. So whichever way you want to use out, I don't know which way is best. Anyway, I might go with the pink at the top. So you can go from the outside down first to create your outside line, and then come back here and do a bit of a like a round and a wiggle sort of thing, and then bring it in with the flat edge. And if I can line it up and do it again, and then bringing it in. I hope the paint is still on there, and then the last little one in and around. So I hope that's worked okay. I'm going to spritz my paint again and then do my little under the eye wing. I always make the bottom wing smaller. It doesn't have to be really close to your eye or anything like that, just on the cheekbone. And I usually just go out and in, out and in, out and in. And hopefully that's worked okay. I'll spritz some glitter on there, and then to do my body, I'll use just a round brush, sort of a smallish one. I think this one is a 4 perhaps. And so I'll go just on the bridge of the nose, press down, and then flick down, and then, gosh, I can hardly see, press to get that round bit for the head. Hope that worked. And then for the antennas, I will do like a little press and then flick down and press and flick down. So as you flick down, you're lifting your brush up a bit, so you're using just the point. So I hope that that has worked. I am a bit blind as a bat without glasses, so I'll have a look. Oh, look, I think it could be worse. I think we'll go with that. So that's just your beginning structure of a butterfly. Do the same on the other side. I have heard people say, other great artists that are doing videos online, to start with your weakest side first and then match. So if you always do your left hand side a bit not great, do that side first and then use your dominant side that you're better at second to match how it looks, so it's symmetrical. After you've done this, you can add your white stars and your dots and all your embellishment, but this is your basic sort of thing to start with. So hopefully that looks okay. So quick and easy. You can then learn how to do extra bits and all the fancy stuff, but this is just a very quick where to start basics. I hope that helps. Bye.